My name is Uncle Johnny, and this is John Obell channel. On this channel, we just talk to people who have moved from one country to the other. And today we have such a guest who have moved from one country to Australia. He's just going to introduce himself and tell us where he's come from and why is he in Australia. Welcome to John Obell channel.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. My name is Mauro. I'm from Mozambique. I traveled from Maputo to here to study at the university.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the normal question I normally ask students.
Let's go.
Yes,
Let's go.
student, yeah. I assume there's a lot of university in Mozambique. Why did you just decided to come to study in Australia?
Yes, there is one particular university that sort of has worldwide recognition.
Yep.
But it still doesn't compete with universities internationally.
Yep.
My first option at the time of selecting universities was to go to South Africa.
Yep.
One of the big names there, UCT or University of Pretoria.
Yep.
But for my luck, they were agents from the University of Newcastle back there.
Yep.
And again, we were set on going to South Africa, but
Yep.
after meeting with them, we were persuaded to come here, so we selected this university.
Oh, okay. So who made that decision between yourself and your parents to come to Australia?
We both did.
Yep.
Right after I finished high school,
Yep.
I knew I wanted to do university in an English-speaking
Yep.
country. Mozambique, we speak Portuguese.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was either South Africa or any other English-speaking country. So we had applications sent to the US.
Yep.
We had applications sent to a few places in Europe.
Mm.
But because of the agents being there, that's what really made it easy for us to
Yep.
accept this. The living cost was kind of high. Again, this is what sort of discussions I would have with my parents. But at the end of the day, we picked.
Okay.
Yeah.
For students also there who probably watching this video and they want to apply to come to study here, can you just tell us the process of applying your application until you get the visa?
Yes. So.
And all the documents you need to provide.
Yeah.
Yep.
For my situation, I think it was lucky that the agents were there. They
Yep.
kind of handled the bulk of the work and just correspondence with
Yep.
the university as well.
Yep.
But basically, the process is you apply for the university first.
Yep.
So you send an email, you fill in the admissions form, etc. They ask you for your results, final year results from high school.
Yep.
You send them that. Then they accept. So they have to first accept your application.
Yep.
Then you start doing the visa process.
Yep.
Which should include the confirmation of enrollment from the university.
Yep.
At that point, you also make the relevant payments. There's a few medical examinations that go into the visa process.
Yep.
To me, it was very easy. It came out very quickly because
Yep.
the agents were on top of everything. But
Yep.
I've heard that it can be a bit stressful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to provide any bank statement from your parents to show that you
Yes.
got? Was it from your parents or from relative or from just anybody?
In my case, it was from my parents.
Oh, okay.
So it was. It's a document that basically shows financial capacity. So.
Yep.
And it's explicit on the enrollment form as well, what the document should show.
No, okay. So you mentioned that in Mozambique you speak Portuguese. Did you
Yes.
have any difficulties speaking English when you arrived in Australia?
Actually, no.
Yep.
I was lucky
Yep.
because amongst every young person in Mozambique, it's like if you wanted to watch TV, all the shows at my time were in English. So
Yep.
there were no translations at the time.
Okay.
So it was either you learned English or you didn't watch Cartoon Network or
Okay.
any one of those. So I could speak from relatively young.
Okay.
So I didn't struggle in that front, thankfully.
So do they teach English in Mozambique from primary school to high school?
It depends on which school you go.
Yep.
Some of my friends went to either South African schools
Yep.
in Mozambique or American schools, international schools.
Yep.
I studied in a schools teaching in Portuguese.
Yep.
But then on my final year, after I completed year 12,
Yep.
I did year 12 again on an American school.
Yep.
Just as not as a student, but just as an observer of sorts,
Yep.
but just to pick up on
The English language?
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's more in the context of academia, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
learn all of those things that I know in Portuguese, but in physics, mathematics.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that helped me a lot as well.
Okay. So your visa has been processed. Now you are here in Australia. Can you tell us day one in Australia? What happened?
Day one.
Where did you go? Who picked you from the airport? What challenges did you get on that day one?
Yes, it's actually interesting because I think if you have relatives in Australia, that can be a big help. For me, so I knew no one here.
Yep.
One useful tip the agents gave me was to book transportation from the airport straight to where your accommodation is going to be.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you do that in advance.
Yep.
It was a company at the time, so they right at the airport they identify themselves.
Yep.
You go, they drive you straight to your door. My flight arrived in New Sydney at around 10 p.m.
Yep.
and then I caught them there, and
Yep.
then they drove to
To
Callahan.
Newcastle. Yep.
I was gonna live on campus.
Yep.
And the guy didn't know where the residents were on
Okay,
campus. So he
yeah.
just dropped me somewhere at uni. I had big luggages.
Big
with
bag,
me.
yeah.
I was skinny as well. It was kind of big.
Yeah.
At midnight, I made my way to the library.
Yeah.
It was open. It was
Yeah.
24 hours. Someone there helped me find the residences.
Yeah, okay.
And then I went there. But I was excited. I couldn't wait to see my room
Yep.
on campus.
Yep.
Yeah, it was someone like that.
Oh, okay.
I ate McDonald's
Yeah, okay.
out of the airport. That
Yep.
was my dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any problem communicating with this taxi driver or the driver who picked you from the airport?
To tell you the truth, from memory, he was kind of weird. He wasn't really, because I never traveled outside of Africa. That was the first time. It's the longest flight I've been in.
Yeah.
And I was trying to ask him, okay, so do you know where this is? Can you find out where this is?
Yep.
And he just wasn't giving me that help.
Yeah, okay.
So like, okay, drop me here. I'll find my way.
Yeah, okay. Was it because he could not understand you, or what do you think it was?
I don't. It was late at night. Maybe he had a long day. I don't know, but
okay.
Yeah, that was my experience.
Yeah, okay.
Least, yeah.
So that was at least terrible experience.
Not terrible, but it could have been better. Yeah.
Okay, so you find a way to the library. Somebody at the library helped you to your room.
Yeah.
What next? What happened next?
So I met with the security at uni.
Yep.
They handed me the key, the access key to my room. I was living in a place with 5 other people.
Yep.
It's a building. It's a big building, 12 floors. 7 floors, sorry.
Yep.
And I met one of the residents
Yep.
who happened to be a residential mentor.
Yep.
So each floor has a mentor, so someone that's
Yep.
somewhat responsible for
Yeah, okay. Someone in charge, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so they kind of helped me settle in,
Yep.
make sure I had all my bedding sorted. You know, that day, even the next day, they took me shopping for groceries and everything I needed. I
Okay.
was lucky to find.
So in this accommodation, you cook for yourself?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
okay.
when you could
Yeah,
yourself,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What next? The following day?
It was setting up the whole process.
Yeah.
I guess as a student, there are orientation sessions. I came sort of adjacent to the start of the orientation sessions, where they tell you how to get your student card set up,
Yep.
how to open a bank account,
Yep.
where your lectures are going to be. You meet with a few lecturers.
Yep. Your first bank account?
Yeah, I had a bank account.
Did you have a bank account before in Mozambique?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was still an intimidating process.
Yep,
to
yep.
do it on my own.
Yep. So back home, your parents help you open bank account? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So all of that here and getting to know where your classes are.
Yep.
And at the time, NIC, they organize a few activities so that the students meet other students coming in as well.
Yep.
So I met a number of people from different places in the world.
Yep.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Again, you mentioned that this was your first time traveling from outside Mozambique. How
Outside
did you
of Africa, so-
outside of Africa?
Yeah.
That was your first flight.
My first flight out of the continent. So I
yeah,
went to
okay.
South Africa,
Yeah.
Zimbabwe, adjacent
But
places.
from Mozambique to South Africa, you can just drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just check.
Yeah, okay. But you are taking flights to South Africa.
I mean, I didn't drive, so if no one wanted to drive, I suppose flights were the alternative.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, how was that journey from Mozambique to Australia? Can you just tell us how you felt?
Yeah.
What was going through your mind going to a different world and you are by yourself?
It was a tough moment in Mozambique saying goodbye to my family. Like, I've been back a few times, and it doesn't get any easier. Where you're in the airport, your family's there, they're saying goodbye. You know, you're not sure, the next time you see them might be in a year's time. It was just a very sad moment. My father, he's like sort of the typical African father, right? So not trying to show emotion, trying to be as serious as he can. But I could see that he was also pretty sad that I was going. And, the flight I went, it was a straight flight. So first it was Maputo, Johannesburg. And then Johannesburg, Sydney. It was a long flight. It's very tiring. It's like almost 15 hours.
Okay, just sitting on the plane.
It wasn't the easiest experience. But yeah, outside of that, it wasn't too hard to check in your bags, check them out. That wasn't too difficult. But yeah, the flight was horrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for students who want to follow your steps, want to come to Australia or any other country for that matter to study, what will you advise them to do before they jump on that flight?
So I think one of the things that it's really important, and I wish I had done this when I was beginning my journey, is to really look in depth at the program you're selecting. So if you can contact your program advisors ahead and see how your academic journey is going to be, what sort of areas can you focus on within your degree, right? And then there's other adjacent experiences such as the culture of the people of the country that you're going to that can impact your performance academically if you feel a sense of belonging there or not. So obviously checking if cuisine, you will match with the cuisine there, if you'll match with the weather, if you'll have a good time with the weather, or the cultural habits. I think that's important as well. And I think trying to find a community that you can relate to can be a good thing when you get into a country you don't know about. So I'd say those are my advices.
My name is John Obell, and this is John Obell channel. We're just talking to people who have traveled from one country to the other, and we're talking to Mauro from Mozambique, and he's just telling us the journey from Mozambique to Australia. Now, did you get any cultural difference when you arrived here? Did you, or the shock? They call it cultural shock.
It was because I lived on campus. Like Australian party culture on campus was very aggressive. I wasn't used to seeing anything near what I saw when I used to live on campus. The drinking habits are beyond what I was accustomed to.
They drink too much.
And that to me was one of the biggest shock. Cuisine, to some degree, not so much. I met with a few Mozambicans at the time as well, so we would take care of that. But it was that, the language, I can speak English, but Australian slang, it took me a while to adjust to.
So you couldn't understand any word they were saying?
I could understand, but sometimes I had to ask, sorry, what?
What did you say? Yeah.
I've heard someone call Monday
Yeah.
Mondo.
Oh, okay.
What? Oh, Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think language was also one of those things I had to adjust tune myself to. And yeah, I think just to touch on the party aspect as well.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's tricky for people outside of Australia because Australians can have that party culture, but they can still somehow be productive.
Okay, yeah.
Like they can still get all their stuff sorted. Or someone coming from the outside might get too lost in the lifestyle and not be as productive. But Australians have it party all week, but they still submit all assignments. So that was.
So if you join them, then you'll suffer.
Yeah, it might because you're not used to the working culture. So I would advise incoming students to be careful.
Careful with the party in Australia.
Yes.
Okay, you talked about food. Now let's did you find any food from Mozambique here, or it was a bit difficult for you to find that type of food?
Yeah, I didn't find any food from Mozambique.
So what did you do?
I would eat whatever was available to me, but and the Mozambican community in Newcastle at least it wasn't that big at the time. It's still not as big right now. So the few of us who know one another, we would get together and cook some of our dishes. Matapa, have you heard of matapa?
What's matapa?
Cassava leaves.
Oh, cassava leaves. Okay. Oh, this is just like from Rwanda too. They eat the same thing.
I forgot the name, how they call it in Rwanda. Yeah, it's very similar. And we put seafood on it. We eat with other. For us, it's shima. You might know it as pap.
Shima is ugali in Okay.
And that, amongst a few other dishes that amongst us Mozambicans, you would try to prepare, replicate recipes.
Now, the people you met here who have come from Mozambique before you, how did they take you and how did you take them? Was there a similarity between you and them, or they have changed?
Well, it was one of the guys that I met here from Mozambique. It was actually an interesting story because when I got here, so I told him my name. He told his parents that, I met this person. And then their parents were like, what's his last name again? And it turns out my father and his father grew up together. So so we became very good friends. Since. But no, I think we interacted well with one another. Being from Mozambique, some of whom have moved to other cities in Australia, but we still keep in touch. So yeah, we try to see one another.
Is Savimbi your uncle?
Savimbi?
Yeah. He's from Mozambique.
Is he here?
No.
I don't think I know him.
You don't know him?
No.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah. Okay, now let's just move on. You've mentioned also that you've gone back home to Mozambique. How did you find it the first time you went back?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Because so you go back, you then notice that everyone else's lives moved on in your absence. So you have to catch up. So like talking through WhatsApp, Skype, Zoom, it's good, but it's not the same as you being present. And I have I had a younger brother. I have a baby brother. So he was born soon after I had left. Every time I go back, because I try to go back on the end of the year holidays, I have to reintroduce myself to him because he doesn't remember.
He doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, he's used to seeing me on the phone. He calls me by my name, but when I'm there, he looks at me and he's
You look different.
So I think that was one of the things. I've heard a concept called reverse culture shock. So when you go back to the place and you have to adapt to everything that you were accustomed to before. So that was interesting. Also, I had many freedoms here that if I had gone back home, I still had to answer to my father directly.
Okay.
And my parents. So that
But here you don't have to answer to anybody.
to a degree. Yeah.
You're by yourself here. You're responsible. Yeah, okay. You mentioned that these people have moved on.
Yeah.
In what way? Back in Mozambique, they've moved on.
Yeah.
In what way? Is it in a good way or in a bad way? Or can you just explain that a little bit? Yeah.
Mostly in a good way, obviously. So you find people taking up new projects. And so if you want to participate in that conversation, they have to tell you about it from scratch.
Okay.
While everyone else already knows, for example. So, they're people you thought were still together or in new relationships, for example, and you have to introduce yourself to the new partner. Just things like that. So you find some people changed religions, changed habits, and you sort of go and adapt yourself to seeing that person in this way.
Okay.
So yeah, in a good way.
What's the main religion in Mozambique?
Christianity.
Oh, Christianity. Do you have a bit of Muslim there as well?
Yes, a lot of Muslim actually.
Okay.
It could be 60-40 Christianity Muslim in Mozambique. Yeah.
Okay. When you arrived in Australia, was it what you were expecting?
Yes. To some degree. I think the people in Australia are somewhat nice. Generally nice.
Apart from the party aspect? They're good?
Except that, But they're very nice. I was hoping to find a more knitted together African community when I came here. And at the time, it was I think what ended up happening was everyone, so if I was from Mozambique, I would interact with mostly Mozambicans. If I was from Nigeria, I would interact mostly with Nigerians, Zimbabwe. It was a bit dispersed. I was hoping to find a more knitted together. That's why last year, me and a group of other students started a society at university, Mindful of African Students. And we've been trying to connect all people living in here from African descent or that are African. So I think that was one of the things that I was hoping to find in Heavier Weight.
Okay. So you didn't find it, and now you're trying to create one.
And I tried to create one.
So what do you discuss in this African? What's the name of this society again?
ASNC.
Okay.
African Students Networking Community.
Okay. What do you mainly discuss in this community?
Well, I guess part of the activities are events. So there's social interactions. We had a picnic that happened end of last year. 43 people attended. It was a really good event for people to get to know one another. So just sort of bridging the gap between people who don't know and allowing them to know. So we try to target people starting university, of course, but try to connect them with people that have been here a longer time. Amongst other academic activities, such as study sessions. We also play soccer at uni weekly. I think we've done well for a society that started in the midst of COVID.
Okay. So you come together and discuss and just mingle with Do you miss your family a lot back home in Mozambique?
Yes. I miss them very, very much.
So what do you do when you tend to miss them?
We try to call one another every chance we can through WhatsApp or whichever social media available to us. But it's still not the same as being with them in person. But I have 4 siblings. So I try to talk to them every chance I can to be as close and to participate in their life I'm outside.
Okay.
So
from your family, you are the first one to get out and come to study outside there?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I have an older sister, but she studied in Mozambique. I studied outside,
Okay. Since you have the experience of studying from overseas here abroad, can you advise the student who may want to come here. Yeah. Now, particularly now in Australia, leave the other countries alone here. Just tell them what you think coming to study here means.
I think it's good. There are different universities in Australia. I think it's important to look which ones gel best with what you're wanting to study. University of Newcastle, in my case, was the best because at the time, at least, it was alleged the best university for engineering in Australia. So that's a very exciting thing to know. I'll advise everyone to do that sort of research as to what faculties, what sort of research the university engaged on. Looking into the resources available to you in the university is important as well, I'd say. Yeah, other than that, I think it's try to maintain work, leisure balance. I think, you know, we might have in our minds that we're just going to come to Australia and just study the whole time. But productivity doesn't really work like that. You need to focus on your studies, but as well have things to clear your mind with your studies so you can do that more effectively. Yeah, I would advise people to get to know as many people as they can. Yeah, this is why I think your channel is great for this, introducing people to one another.
Okay. Now, vice versa. Somebody from Australia going to Mozambique. Where can they go? What can they see in Mozambique? What's so interesting in Mozambique if they want to go there?
Mozambique is good. We have many beaches. We have an island as well, Ilha de Mozambique, that attracts a lot of tourists. But yeah, I guess our beach culture is just very, very impressive. There's a national park as well, national reserve with animals that you can see as well in the center of Mozambique. That attracts a lot of people as well. But other than that, I think Mozambican people are nice generally. They like to drink. Mozambicans.
So, do they outbeat Australian?
I would say no. I'd say no. But yeah, Mozambican people enjoy partying, getting together. You know, it's really speaks to the core of Mozambican identity.
That's good. Given the opportunity, now since you lived both in Mozambique and Australia, if you're given opportunity, would you stay or would you go back? If you finish your education?
Interesting question.
This is a John Obell channel, and my name is Uncle Johnny. We just talk to people who have traveled from one country to the other. In this case, Mozambique, and is traveling to Australia. He's actually given us the insight of traveling from Mozambique to Australia, and he's given us the student what to do, how to do research before coming to
and I wanted to participate in that. So I feel in terms of job fulfillment, it would be greater in Mozambique. On the other hand, I also understand that if I were to work here, perhaps I'd make more money. But in terms of job fulfillment, so that would be the balancing question that I would answer by the time I finish my studies.
So for you to make that decision, who is going to get involved?
Oh, my parents, my family. My family, of course. Mainly my family.
Okay. So in this case, you're just going to have like an open mind. If you get an opportunity, you can stay. But you prefer to go back to Mozambique.
I prefer to go back, and it could be a mixture of both. So I can work here sometime and get experience, and then go back. That's also available. It's an option. But I feel like my heart is back home. Still. So you are here to study. When you complete your study, go back to Mozambique and help the people there. Set electricity. Hopefully.
Oh, that's good. And we just talk to people who have traveled from one country to the other. In this case, we have somebody who have traveled to Mozambique, to Australia. And they just tell us their journey and the experience they've received in this country. And thank you very much for appearing on my YouTube channel.
Thank you for having me. Jeez.
God bless you.